Do we test it? We might as well, right? Everybody wants to know. You guys want to know. I want to know. Let's see. Did they kill the Dragon Destiny during the Year of the Dragon? Did they unironically kill the Dragon Destiny in the Year of the Dragon? What winners? Now, it's difficult for us on this character because all of my damage is light and sonic. So we just kind of have to pick something that we like, I guess. I think probably a solid would be acid damage. We'll do acid damage. Okay, let's do acid damage. So we'll do Black Dragon. We're just gonna buy all in. We're buying everything. We're buying the whole store. We're gonna Mr. Beast this whole Destiny right here. I don't think I can get enchantment here, so we're gonna do Conjuration. Actually, you know what? We'll do Evoke. That's fine. Some of this stuff I won't. What do you guys want to see? You want to see me do Energy Burst? I was thinking about doing Energy Burst, but I mean, I'm happy to do Vortex or just like double breath, whatever. Let's do double breath just because that'll be right, because then I can point it at something and breathe fire at it, right? Like, I mean, Energy Burst was what I thought originally, like, because that's what everybody from the old Destiny setup, everybody would twist in Energy Burst. But it's been a while since that's been a thing. So we'll just do a regular Dragon Breath test. So we'll take Gaping Maw. And I'm going to boost my Quicken, because I have Quicken. And then we'll boost our Maximize. Okay. And now we're taking DCs, Dragon Wings, Dragon Form. Ruin Intensified is great. And we don't use this, but we're going to take it anyway. So this tree costs 63 points to go in all in on. That's the most expensive one we've seen so far. But we own everything now. We own the whole dragon tree. So here's our mantle. Okay, and that gives us offensive spells, 1d6 plus 6 bonus, caster level of acid because we chose Black Dragon, and that will proc once every 5 seconds. Here is our Epic Strike. This dragon form is the epic moment. It lasts 30 seconds, which is 10 seconds longer than all the others so far. And it looks the same. Basically, we get DR 100. Our hit points regenerate. Our spells cost 50% less to cast. We have a chance to turn any monster that's not a boss into gold. And I've seen that. There's no save. I've seen that in the old Dragon Destiny. That procs a lot, so that's good. Scales, that's basically like a damage soak. And then this is our Dragon Wing. So we'll move this stuff around a little bit. Okay, we'll put that there. And then because I constantly hit this button anyway, I'm going to just do a double renewal. Okay, and all the rest of that stuff looks fine. Okay. So now we're going to go back. We're going to fight that mimic again. Hopefully it takes acid damage. I think it does. So I got my new headset. You can see I'm wearing it. It's super great. I also got a couple of parts that I need for my new computer, so I'm actually going to start working on that. So I may actually get my gaming computer. The price difference on them is so ridiculous. It's like the 4060 Ti was what, like 5 or 600, and then if you go like 4090, it's like what, 2 or 3 grand or something like that. So they're quite different. I think my new computer is going to have 32 gigs of RAM as well. So right now I only have 16. So that'll be a big upgrade. So it'll help me when I do like other games
At the
too.
end of the passage ahead, you can see
All right,
a
so
fortress
we're in
floating
Draconic.
the silvery mists
There's our
of the astral plane.
damage.
The
So
defensive shield collapses.
and there's my epic.
With a living being.
That was it. I hit him for 4,000 acid damage. Okay, so here's the big issue that I'm noticing immediately with this Draconic is that my epic strike has a 12-second cooldown. I just did another, I think it was 4,000 damage. But this epic strike is 12 seconds compared. Look, that was 1,700 damage. It dotted him up, so he's taking acid damage. So I guess where I'm spec'd into this epic strike, it actually applies a dot that does residual damage for the damage type that you pick. So it's an acid torrent, and then it does a bunch of other stuff based on
the lever
like these additions.
And one of the signal crystals by the barrier flares.
So part of it turned it into, yeah, this made it applies a dot that deals the full damage 3 times. But the damage was like 4,000. I missed. I think I missed again. Did I? Yes, I did. Oh, too much. "12 seconds. That is a long time between epic strikes, man. That is just way too long. Consider Fate Singer is 3 seconds. You know, like, what a difference. So far, I'm just really impressed with Fate Singer, and I was very impressed with Exalted Angel with the epic moment, being able to turn anything, and then I was completely underwhelmed with Shirati, and
revealing the passage
we're just
beyond.
starting, so we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do against the Mimic. That'll be the big show for this, but I have a feeling with that much delay between my ability to use that strike. So here it is. This is the epic strike. I'm gonna get right next to this dude. See how far it goes. So I was able to obliterate him with it, but it didn't hit this dude over here at all. Oh, you know what's really interesting? And I'm going to have to verify this, but it appears that my burst, which is light and sonic, I think it's proccing my mantle. That's really good if that's true. That's great. That means that anybody can use anything in Draconic now. So we're going to see if I'm just hallucinating, right? Because I have no other source of acid. So if we see acid damage on these, it's my burst from Warlock, and it's coming from the mantle.
The innocuous
here we go.
lets out an unexpected roar as it attacks.
Pay attention to what kind of damage it's these dudes. Yeah, so I just saw some acid damage on them. Or is that on me? Are they doing it on me? I think they might be doing it on me. No, that procced acid on him. Okay. So, Draconic will proc its damage type no matter what you do. Just pick a damage type. So that's good. Right, and we'll try to see. He's taking acid damage. I have no source of doing acid except for the mantle. That's it. So let's see the dragon breath. Okay, I did 7,300, and then it hit him again for 4,000. Then it hit him for 3,900, then 3,800, then 3,800. It's continuing to hit him. Let's see how long it lasts. That. Yeah, so that is quite a long dot of damage, and look at that's refreshing itself. Like, I'm not refreshing that. It is being refreshed. Apparently my burst damage, because I'm reapplying that Draconic, is reapplying the dot that I did to him. So that, oh god, I wonder if this stacks. Okay, there's another epic strike. It did not stack this attuned to the arcane thing, but I had no idea that this was like a lasting dot. So actually this, while it's not a lot of front damage, like that is going to be a lot of DPS if you can just continually refresh this dot. It looks like I am. Like, it looks like every time my mantle hits this monster, it refreshes this timer. Right? And every time it does, it's proccing another couple thousand acid damage. And there's another, I just cast, it looks like I did 5,000 from the actual cast of the ability, but there, refreshed it. He's still taking thousands of acid. There's 5,600 acid damage from it, 2,000, 1,500. There's another 3,600, 1,400, 1,500, 1,500, 1,500. Like it, and it's ticking every 2 seconds. 3,700, 3,800. Like, so this epic strike is functioning different than any other. This is a really interesting. Let me get myself some defense here so I don't die. I'm gonna try to hit him with the my dragon breath. There. Okay, so you know, the actual epic strike hit him for a couple thousand, but he's dotted, and the dot is just doing tons of damage. I mean, look at how fast his health is going down. Considering Shirati took us forever to kill this thing. Look, I just hit him for 7,500. So while I cannot say that this being on a 12-second cooldown doing less damage than Exalted Angel or not Shirati, Fate Singer, this is actually impressive as hell, because that was a cast of it. I hit him for 7,300, but he is still dotted up. Like, I just have to do that epic strike once, and then as long as he takes damage from my Draconic Mantle, he's just gonna keep getting stacked with that damage. And it's not like it's ramping up and adding more and more and more, but you can see also he got paralyzed. He was immune to the paralyzed at the beginning, but so if he were trash, I mean, that would have paralyzed him. So what I'm thinking based on oh god, I'm gonna die. What I'm thinking based on what I'm seeing is, I honestly think probably the strongest thing to do now would be Energy Vortex. I think that would actually be super strong, because think about it. You can pick any damage type now, right? And pick any damage that you want. So let's say you do Black Dragon like this, Acid. You throw on your Vortex, Now anything that touches your vortex is taking
round.
your acid
The mimic
damage.
falls.
And then, because it's touching your, it's getting a refresh of that Attune the Arcane, it's going to continue to take your damage. And because it's, the vortex is an aura that's around you, it's even wider than my warlock aura, which goes, you know what, how, I don't know if that were feet, like looks like it's 6 or 7 feet out from me, but I know that the draconic vortex is like a cloud that goes around you at least that much, but I think it's more. So I think that's the next thing we're going to test, because I have a feeling that will be super strong. And if that's the case, then draconic is not dead. Not at all. Like, actually, draconic may be still a go-to. Prior to this update, I couldn't pick Black Dragon on my Sonic Warlock and do acid damage that I'm aware of. I mean, again, I may be mistaken, but from my perspective, that's really cool that I can proc an acid proc in a light and Sonic spec Warlock. I don't have to be the old one, which is acid based. You know, obviously acid would be better, right? Because I would get more acid spell power, but I'm hitting these dudes with acid. I have no other source of acid damage on my character. There, I just did my dragon breath at them, and it looks like they got dotted. Let's see if this dude has the dot on him. He does not. So let's see if we can put the dot on him. Right. And he has it. Now he has the dot. And so now I don't have to even attack him. He's just gonna take that damage every 2 seconds. From a warlock perspective, dude, that may actually be like even better, because that means that you could just sit there and like we need to try this immediately. I need to get out of here and try this, because this may be the new shiny candy stove. All right, let's do this. Okay, 160,000 plat to respec this bullshit. Luckily, plat doesn't matter, but okay, we will get to testing the next things too. I just want to verify that this is in fact as cool as I think it is. You know what I mean? So we're gonna stick with acid. Okay, we're going Vortex. Quicken. Maximize. All this junk here. All this is great. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so this is our Vortex now. Once every 12 seconds. This is the mantle. Okay. So let's go back. Man, if they take a couple thousand acid damage every 2 seconds, that's insane. That will be really, really strong. Because it basically, that means this vortex is going to be like another warlock aura. So if you're already doing an enlightened spirit warlock aura or any other class, it would give you basically a warlock aura, a warlock type aura. And I don't think the dot is single target, right? Like, I think we can dot up anything that gets into the vortex.
At the end of the
So
passage
we're gonna
ahead,
see right
you
now.
can see a fortress
So here's the
floating in
vortex.
silvery mists of the astral plane. The Slod's defensive shield
Vortex is
collapses
out.
as it
He's
comes into
got the
contact with a
attune the
living
arcane.
being.
He's taking my normal aura damage, and he's also taking acid damage from the, you know, from the mantle, but he's also dotted with this attune. There's another cast of the energy vortex. And you can see he's just taking... Oh my god, this is great. This is so great. Maybe they didn't kill it after all.
The lever activates, and one of the signal crystals by the barrier flares alight.
He made it! Oh, can I make this?
With both levers pulled,
Can I
the
make
fortress's
that?
barrier collapses in upon itself, revealing the passage beyond.
Nope. We're gonna try and see what happens when we throw the vortex on. Let's see what the range of it is. Right? Alright, so there's a slot right there. So vortex is on. Got him. We'll see when he starts taking my acid damage. Alright, right there. You can see he's taking it. Like, he's taking a bunch of it. I was out of range to reapply. It looks like I don't even need to hit him with... It looks like my attune to the arcane is being procced by my mantle. Not my mantle, pardon me. My warlock aura is proccing that attune to the arcane thing. So this basically, that means that this aura, this vortex, is just basically extra acid damage.
A wave of energy washes from the small tower as the barrier blocking the entrance is disrupted.
So that's good for builds that do ruin and double ruin. Means that you can stay in Draconic and not worry about, like, wasting your time. You could always decide to use this mantle but pick a different epic strike if you didn't want to use the, you know. So here we go. This is our acid. They should all be taking it now. They are. It applies. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like they all end up with the... Yep, there it is. I honestly don't think it matters. Oh, probably gonna die. Nope. Yeah, I don't think it matters doing energy vortex. I think you could do the same thing on a warlock if you you know, you did energy burst or whatever, because your normal aura is going to make them take this dot. So it's not like we need to force it by doing vortex, but vortex just adds to the type of damage. So I think it's certainly viable. I think it's really viable. Yeah. Definitely better, functioning better than I expected. And because of that, stacking dot and the way that it instantly refreshes, and it refreshes itself into infinity, like in other words, it doesn't ever time out as long as it keeps refreshing, then it really negates the problem that you get with a 12-second epic strike, because you don't actually even care. You know, yeah, you can cast it again if you want, but the other thing too is that because you can pick another epic strike, it's not like you're even stuck using Dragon Breath. You could always go into Draconic, get that mantle dot that's super strong, and then just use
The
another epic strike
innocuous
from some other
pest
tree.
lets out an
Like
unexpected
there's
roar
the
as it
Vortex.
attacks.
So we're not even doing anything. We're just gonna let the Vortex just melted everything. There, that thing got hit for 5,000 damage from the Vortex. 3,500. See, it's got the dot on it, and the dot is infinitely refreshing itself because I keep applying the mantle to it. Cast our Vortex again. That should just make our DPS go up, our acid DPS go up, and it did. 2,000, 5,000, 1,700, 1,500. So you can see it's like on a Warlock, that's actually really cool. It's like we have another enhanced aura, and it doesn't matter what type of a Warlock you are. So like the old days, if you wanted to do this acid damage, you'd have to be in the old one, but you know, it works. I'm on a Fey Warlock and it's working really strong. You could do the negative one, you could do the cold one, you could do the fire one. You know what that says to me too? Like if you are on a Fiend and you're doing fire and light, well, the problem with Fiend is a lot of mobs don't take fire damage. You know, they're immune to fire. So you could do this Vortex as cold damage, and that would make it so that you could do fire, light, and cold. Or you can do what I'm doing. You could do fire, light, and acid. Like, it's just a lot of things in DDO take acid damage. There are some things that are healed by acid damage, obviously. It's not super perfect, but it's a good solid choice. I think the negative energy one would be okay too. The problem with that is that it won't really matter against undead or golems, but depending on what you were doing, I think it would be strong. Probably the one that I would be least likely to use is electricity, just because a lot of things get electrical immunity later on, but I'm sure it's good. Fire would be good if you were fighting a lot of undead. But we're burning through this mimic really quick, and it doesn't really feel that bad. Like there's just a shit ton of acid ticking off on this thing. There's another Vortex cast. I mean, he's hitting me quite hard too, so I have to. But I'm just so impressed by that. This infinitely refreshing dot that does thousands of damage. That is great. It's every 2 seconds too, so it's not like it's, you know, that's the one problem with Magus of the Eclipse, which we'll test next, is that it has an aura, but it only procs once every 5 seconds. Well, this, not only can you refresh the Vortex cast every 12 seconds to do, you know, a couple thousand acid damage, but my dot is ticking every 2 seconds.
With a final rattle, the mimic
That is
falls
really strong.
lifeless to the floor.
That did not feel like a tough fight at all. Okay, so I think we've got some really good data. No need to test dragon form. I can. I'll do it since we're here. We'll test it. We'll go test dragon form. Just because we're here. No need. It looks like it functions the same way as it used to, is what I mean. So. Okay, there's my vortex. And we are going to do, here's our greater dragon form. So anything that comes into my thing, yeah, he was turned to gold, so that works. It's really strong. It's one of the better epic moments. He got turned to gold. Yeah, it's a really solid epic moment. He got turned to gold. He got turned to gold. Like, it procs, and they have no save against it, so really good. So Draconic is still actually, I think it's unironic, right? They didn't kill it. I thought they killed it. They didn't kill it. They changed it, right? It's no longer the go-to for some crazy quick burst, but it's still really, I think that there's situations where it might actually be the best mantle for somebody. I mean, look at the damage. You know, we're just spewing damage out like crazy. I just can't get over the fact that that dot ticks every 2 seconds. That is just so awesome. Like, what a lot of damage. I bet this dude is going to be easy too. Oh, I have to go down here, right? And Vortex feels really good because Vortex isn't something that you need to worry about casting again and again. It's just something you turn on. So, and this dude, let's see, is he getting my, yep, he got it. There's the dot on him. There's a renewal of my Vortex. And there's the damage. He has a lot of damage reduction too, so if we're hitting him for 23, it would usually be probably like 33. 28, 13, 34, 11, 14. (24, 28, 11, 25).
The staggered Illithid lets out an ear-piercing screech, summoning additional defenders.
Need to do an E-Barts on these dudes. Alright, so here's a renewal of my... And what I want to check and see is if anybody standing in my aura now is getting this dot. So let's check this dude. So I'm not sure. Yeah, he got the dot, but I'm wondering if it... Is it everybody? Apparently, it's whoever I have targeted takes the dot. So it's not like every mob around me. It looks like I need to have the monster targeted, and then that target takes the extra dot. But with the vortex up, it means they're taking the damage in the cloud of the vortex, right? And then if I focus, for example, of this boss, now he'll get the stacking acid. Which he should have the dot on him. He does. And again, I may be incorrect about that, but like I said, I think it appears that he just takes the dot. Yeah. So I'm helpless, but I'm still going to kill him because the dot's going to get him. And that's really nice. Usually when you're helpless, you can't
In your
do
head,
shit, but
you hear the Illithid's final projected
so that's
warning.
great.
Controller, they are coming! This seems like a safe place to rest and recover.
Very cool. It would have been really crazy OP if that dot stacked on anything that took damage from you. But again, I may be incorrectly reading what I'm looking at. It looked like it just did whatever I had focused. It's still really strong. Really, really strong. A lot of damage. And very easy damage too, right? Like you saw, I was helpless and we were still able to kill that